Uh, Floor is all yours. You could start.
Okay, thank you, Carlos. Hello, everyone. This is Suleiman Kiam, the IHE Conectaton manager. So thank you for participating to this webinar. And today, I will present you the program of the phase one, the test plan, the organization, and so on. So move to the next slide. Oh, okay. So for today webinar, we are going to review the registration status, the calendar of the event, and after that, I will talk about the configuration sharing before the phase one, what we request from the country in order to prepare the phase one. After that, I will show you the test plan for phase one. What are the list of the tests you need to execute for phase one? And Carlos will come to the organization of the phase one, which slot is allowed for which country, which date, and how many monitors will support you, and what will be the organization in detail. After that, I will show you a quick demo of the list of the Gazelle tools required on phase one. I will show you the list of the tool, the proxy, the Gazelle master patient index, and also the EVS client, Gazelle EVS client. Yeah. And if you have time, I will show you how to execute the testing in Gazelle for phase one, and we will finish with the question and response. So regarding the calendar, the registration phase will be closed this week, tomorrow. And after that, I will show you the list of the countries that already performed their registration. So next week, October 7, for 2 weeks, we will have the phase one of the event, the online event. So after the online event, we have 1 week for break. And after that, we'll meet at El Salvador from 27 to 30 for the event on site. So this is our second webinar, and we have another webinar to show you the test plan for phase two, the one we will execute at El Salvador, maybe in 10 days or something like this, I think. But it's before we travel to El Salvador. After El Salvador, the report will be published around mid-November. So this is also a quick reminder of the event steps. Excuse me. Okay, the event steps. The steps one is the registration. You need to register your country in Gazelle in order to execute the test in Gazelle, in order to find your test plan, find your partner during the event, and also Gazelle will report your testing after the event and say, okay, this country has executed 20 tests, 50 tests, 100 tests, and these tests are failed, these tests are passed. And based on those results, we will include some comments and see what to improve for the next one. So that's why the registration is so important for all countries. And also you need to register also the users, how many people will perform the test, which people will perform the test on for your country. You need to know them and know your system, know your country, and so on. So this is the step one, the registration is already done for most of the countries. After that, we switch to the configuration sharing because, as I said, on the phase two, you will interact with some Gazelle tool, like, for example, the proxy. And to interact with the proxy, we need to configure the endpoint of your Snowstorm server for SDCM, and also your Fase server for testing MHD and PDQM and some profiles. So I will share you also after this slide what kind of information we expect in the step number 2. After that, once you share your configuration in the step number 3, you will perform the test execution from Gazelle with all the tools we will provide you, the Gazelle API, the Gazelle proxy, the validators, and all the tools you need to test with during this phase will be ready for next week. So after the testing of the phase 1, we will switch to the step number 4, the testing in El Salvador. Okay, so these are two different test plans. The phase 1, we have 5 tests for each track. And for the phase 2, we have more than 30 tests. So it's a big scope. So we have 4 days at El Salvador to perform everything. And after that, as I said, the test results mid-November. Once you success all the tests on phase 1 and phase 2, yeah, you will have a green color for your report status. So in the registration status, all the countries have already performed the registration in Gazelle. All the green country, Argentina, Barbados, Belize, Brazil, and all the countries in green have fully performed their registration in Gazelle. We expect one more registration. One registration is missing. It's Bahamas. We are waiting for them for tomorrow. Maybe probably they will finalize everything. But for the rest of the country, everything is fine in Gazelle. So now after your registration, as I said in my previous slide, we request you to provide the URL of the endpoint of your Happy Fire and the endpoint of your Snowstorm server. So this is an example of some configuration information provided by the country last year. Paraguay, for example, this is what they provide us. Ecuador, Colombia, Uruguay, Peru, Honduras, and all the countries that participated last year. These are the configuration you share with us. So please come back to Carlos. If there is any change, please let us know. We need to update. And if the URL is the same, so please let us know also. But we need quickly to have this information and configure it in Gazelle. So in the Happy Fire, this is the information we get last year, and the Snowstorm server. These are the information you provide last year. This is the information we get from you. So please let us know if we need to change anything, the IP address, the port, the link, and so on. So this is the configuration sharing, and it should be done before your testing slot next week. So probably tomorrow, if you can provide the information, it would be good. So this is the configuration sharing. Maybe if you have any question in the configuration sharing, we can discuss it at the end of this presentation. So now, before I switch to the test plan, I would like to give a quick reminder of the IHE methodology. To the IHE methodology in order to help you to understand what is the profiles actor. Why do we need profiles and actors in Gazelle, and why do you need to implement those profiles? So at the beginning of the project, PH4H Express provide us some tracks, 2 tracks. A track on the vaccination and another track on the sharing of the patient summary between the countries. So they create PH4 has created the tracks workflow. So based on those information, we translate the needs, the tracks into technical requirement. So IHE and PH4 select existing standards, such as some standard created by WHO, like for example ICVP, or for example the patient summary in the international patient summary standard, and also some file profiles to help on the sharing of the patient summary between a country to another country or a country to their file server. So based on this standard, IHE has created some profiles So a profile is a specialization of the standard for the specific use case. For example, I would like to share my patient summary from my system to my file server. What will be the transport protocol I need to use, and how to push that patient summary to my server. The way to send the message will be described in the MHD transaction mobile health document, specific, especially on the transaction ITI 65. So MHD profiles is defined by IHE to explain how to push a document from your system to your server. You have also another profiles like, for example, IPS LAC. IPS LAC is profiles created from the IPS International IPS standard. We have also IPS ICVP that is similar to IPS LAC, but the only difference is IPS ICVP just have one resource, is the immunization resource. It focuses on the vaccination, polio, and yellow fever. Also, we have the SVCM profiles for the semantic interoperability, the VHL to share the patient summary by using QR code from country A to a country B. And also PDQM, another IT profiles to retrieve the patient demographic information uh, from the master patient index. So these profiles are created for this project to cover both tracks provided by PH4H. So after that, once we have the profiles, we proceed to the implementation of the profiles. And those profiles will be tested during the event. We test the tracks, but the profile will help us to divide the tracks into several test cases, or TC. So after the testing event, so we'll meet at El Salvador and next week for to perform the testing, and after that we will have the report publication. So this is globally the process, how we reach, how we move from the tracks to the report publication. So this is a quick overview of the list of the profile I show you. PDQM is an IHE profiles that help to query a patient demographic data, the name of the patient, the date of the birth, the identifiers, and so on. So MHD to retrieve a document from the file server, or to push a document, a hash document in the file server. ICVP, that's for the vaccination certificate. As I said in my previous slide, it covers 2 vaccine code, polio and yellow fever. VHL, the verifiable health link. This is a profile also you already know, you tested last year. It defines a secure, verifiable way for patients to share some information from their patient summary via signing links, ensure authenticity and trust across systems. IPS LAC is the IPS version of for Latin America. The IPS version of Latin America. You already know also, and SVCM for the semantic part to retrieve some code system from the SNOWTOM server, like for example LoinC, SNOWMED CT, ICD-10, ICD-11, and so on. So globally, this is the list of the profiles we include in your system. If I just go to Gazelle, if I go to manage SUT, normally, if you check just one example, for example, just an example, Brazil. Let me check if Brazil we have. Okay. If I take the example of Brazil, for example, you can see the list of the profiles of the for a track 2, for example. These are the profile you're going to test it. But yeah, but I need to add also a few more profiles for on this system, like for example VHL, and yeah, and so on. But the rest is here. You have MHT, you have SVCM, you have PDQM, you have LAC IPS. This is for EHR. EHR is the system you will going to test for track 1. If you switch to track 2, let me take the example of, I don't know, Barbados, for example. The track 2, if I open it, yeah, we have added the ICVP, the ICVP profiles, MHD profiles, PDQM, and SVCM. So globally, your system, the system you register in Gazelle are already completed with the list of the profiles and actors. So here you can see the actors. What is an actor in the IHE ecosystem? An actor is a role of the system. For example, the system can be a system that helps to send the information or to receive the information, or the role of the system can be just to store the information in the repository. So globally, this is your system, the system you register in Gazelle. We add few updates. So now in the test plan, what do you need to execute next week for track 1, phase 1? Okay, phase 1 you have 5 test cases. The first one is the test case number 1. In the test case number 1, you have the profile, PDQM, patient demographic information, and the transaction of this profile will be ITI 78. ITI 78 will describe how to send the information from your system to the MPI. So the Gazette MPI is not the MPI you can use in the production. It's just a simulator. We simulate the master patient index. So next week or the week after, for some countries, the first test we'll request you is to send the query from your system to the Gazette MPI. So I don't have a real system, but if I take the example of, for example, Postman, this is my system, simulator system. And Postman, let's check, for example, one request. Yeah, excuse me. Excuse me. Okay, so let me just send, for example, any query. Okay, so it doesn't respond. Let me check for address. Next time. So I'm sending the ITI 78 from my system to the Gazelle MPI. It takes time. Okay, so we'll come back to the testing. Okay, we'll come back to this test. So once you send the query from your EHR to the Gazelle, the MPI simulator, you'll be able to find the request message and the response message sent from the MPI to your system, because you send a request and the MPI responds to you. And from the MPI, the patient manager of Gazelle, you'll be able to see the request and the response message, and you'll be able to validate both message and share your validation results to the monitor. So this is what it's still running. Okay, there is something wrong. Okay, I need to check after, but I think the MPI doesn't respond at this time. So okay, we'll come back to this test. I'm just going to Gazelle test management to show you the TC number 1. The TC number 1, the profile is PDQM. Let me select any countries, Barbados, for example. So this is the test number 1 description. If you click on the I, this one, it will show you the full description of the test. What do we need? What do we expect from you? Okay, so this is the full description of the test, but we need to add few updates. So we'll keep you updated once this test is updated. But the workflow of the test is to send the query from the EHR and validate the response and the request message from the MPI. You can call the external validator. After that, we have the TC number 2 and the TC number 3. The TC number 2 and the TC number 3, we have ITI 98 and ITI 101. ITI 98 is for the lookup and ITI 101 is for the translate. So this test is a bit special because you will interact with the Gazelle proxy. So the message will be sent to the Gazelle proxy, and the Gazelle proxy will will process the message. It will forward the message to your Snowstorm server. So that's why we need to know in advance the endpoint of your Snowstorm server in order to help the proxy to forward the message to the right place. So that's why you need to share with us your configuration details. So this is TC number 2 and TC number 3. And I can show you quickly the Gazelle proxy, maybe. So for the Gazelle proxy, you have this new tab, the message capture icon. So you need to click on it. And when you click on it, once you execute your request, so your request, the request and the response will come here, will be received by the proxy. So you can search for your message by using the filter, the time stamped, or you can add also the time when the date and the time when you send your message to search for the right request and right response. You can search also by using the port of your of the proxy we assign you. Or also you can search for your message by filter by using this filter, the receiver. The receiver will be your Snowstorm server or your file server link. So once you find your message, you have this button, access detail. And when you go to access detail, you can see the request. Here you can see the response of the message you sent. If you want to move to the corresponding request, you need to click on this button, and then it will show you the corresponding request message. You can also move back to the response. Here I have the response message. So to see the content of the message you sent, for example, the request, you can have it here. It's a header. It's HTTP request, so you can find it here. And the corresponding message, you have the content of the response message here. So here is the header, and here is the body. You have the body in XML if you want. If you go down, you have access to the XML version of the body or the row, and so on. If you want to perform the validation of the request or response message, you can click on this button. But for SVCM, we do not have any existing validator, so the validation will be done manually by the monitors. So this is TC2 and TC3. After that, we have the TC number 4. The TC number 4, you create, it's based on the profile's IPS LAC. And here you need to create the JSON files that contain the patient demographic information you retrieve from TC1 and clinical information you get from TC2 and TC3. So based on this information, you will be able to build your JSON file, your IPS LAC files on TC4. So once you create your IPS LAC file, before you share it with the others country, we will request you to, let me show you quickly the description of the test. Maybe select this TC4. Okay. So here, we request you to go to Gazelle EVS client. You have the link here in the description of the test. Okay, and here we'll ask you to, oh, sorry, excuse me. Let me go back to, the homepage of Gazelle. We'll ask you to go to EVS client. So EVS client will be here. So document validation, you can click on this icon to get access to the EVS client. And from the EVS client, you can go to PH4H, and file like pass validate, and here you need to upload the JSON file of your IPS LAC by clicking on add. And after that, you need to select the appropriate validator. So the name of the validator will be listed in the test description. You need just to follow step by step the description of this test. So this is the name of the validator. And once you select the right validator, you can click on validate, and Gazelle will proceed of the validation and say, okay, your JSON file is valid, or your JSON file is not valid. If it's not valid, you need to fix the issue and then run the validation again. If it's okay, so you can switch to the TC number 5. The TC number 5, you have your valid JSON file. So now we'll request you to send transaction ITI 65 of the MHD profile to the Gazelle proxy, and then the Gazelle proxy will forward the message to your file server, okay, and then send the response to the proxy, and then the proxy will respond to you. So this is also for this also we need also, as I said, your configuration here. That's the URL you provide 2 years ago, last year. You need to tell us if it's the same or if you need to update it. So this is TC number 5. Once you push now your IPS LAC in your server, so now the phase 1, the track 1 is finished. So you can wait for the rest. In El Salvador, you can continue the test by starting on the TC6. So this is the track number 1. For track number 2, the process is similar. PDQM for TC1, the test description is the same. TC2 and TC3 SVCM. So for the lookup and then the translation. And also on PH4H, the monitors know very well this transaction and the profile, so they will be there next week to support. IHE team will be there in case you need to finalize your configuration in the proxy. We'll do the configuration anyway in the proxy, but if you need any additional information, we'll let you know, and we'll be in the call also. So now the only difference between the track 1 is the track 1 you build the IPS LAC, and here on the track 2 you build the IPS ICVP. You build the IPS ICVP, and the process will be the same. You need to go to the EVS client and find the validator and perform the validation of the IPS. After that, once it's validated, so now you can push your IPS document to your file server by using the ITI 65 of MHD. So globally, this is the list of the tests for track number 2. Okay, so now in the testing workflow, before I leave it to Carlos, because Carlos needs to explain the organization for next week, we need first to you need first to share your configuration. As I said, this is the next step after your registration. After that, next week, we will guide you. You will go to Gazelle and then find the list of the test plan I showed you in the previous slide for track 1 and track 2. Now, if this track 1, you need to select the EHR system. If it's track 2, you need to select the ER immunization record system. So once just to show you how it looks like. So this is the Gazelle homepage. From the Gazelle homepage, next week you have Gazelle test execution page. When you connect to the Gazelle test execution page, you have this button, the test execution. And when you go to test execution, you need to, for example, my organization is, I don't know, El Salvador, for example. I have 2 systems, EHR for track 1, immunization record for track 2. If you select the first one, you will be able to see the list of the TC, TC4, TC5, TC1, TC2, and TC3. So to execute the TC number 1, for example, or number 4, I don't know, you will have this button, Start a Test and Songs. Okay. Once you click on it, you can click on the play button. And here, the default status will be running because you are working on the testing on this test. So now you need to follow the test description. If you have any question, IHE team and PH4H monitors will be in the call, so we can support you to understand some steps or to execute some part of the test. So once you read everything and everything is okay, so now this part is the evaluation part. This part is especially for the monitors to say, okay, how to that, and this part show how the monitors will perform the monitoring of this test. For example, it says, okay, the monitor has to make sure that the validation report the country provide is success. If so, change the status to the status of this test to verified. So this is for the monitors. So once you finish your test, so now you have some you can add few comments in your test. For example, if you face any issue that you would like to share with the monitors, you can click on this box, add the comment. If you want to upload, for example, your request message and your response message, you have upload a file. This is the box to upload, for example, the permanent link you will receive from the from the proxy. You can share it here to the monitor. So the evidence you share here will be for the monitors. So the monitor will be able to get access to this evidence and check if your test is okay or not. Once you finish your test, so now you can change the status to be verified, and then your test is finished. You can switch to the test case number number 5, because here this is number 4, so now you need to switch to the test case number 5. And then if there is any issue, if the test is failed, the monitors from PH4H can come back to you and say, okay, you need to run this test again because we find out some issue and you need to try again with a new data set, or you need to try again with a new IPS file or something like this. But the monitor will inform you if there is something wrong. If there is any question in the tooling, Gazelle tooling, any issue in the tooling and so on, IHE team will handle those kind of questions. So globally, this is the step number 3. Your system select the system EHR for the track 1 to find your test plan for track 1, and immunization record ER for track 2 to find the test plan for the track number 2. After that, this is not mandatory, but you can filter by Conectaton test, but this is not mandatory because all the tests are in this type. Now you need to execute the test as I show you in the demo. You need to follow the description of the test, upload your proof, and once everything is done, you need to change the status of the test to be verified. So globally, this is what I wanted to show you. My demo is failed. The demo from the postman to the MPI is failed. I think the MPI is not responding right now, but we'll try to fix the issue, and then probably next week on the phase 1, we will show you before you start your test execution. So globally, this is what I wanted to show. Carlos will share with you the organization of next week. Maybe Carlos, you can share your screen and share how we will organize the test execution for next week, for the 2 upcoming weeks. Carlos, are you in the call?
¿Me escuchan? Sí, sí, sí. ¿Me oyen? Sí, sí, me oyen. Un segundo. Déjenme. Ok. No voy a. Sí voy a compartir algo, pero no puedo mostrar tanto porque tenemos información que vamos a desplegar en el kickoff de la fase 2, que va a suceder el mismo martes 7. El martes, bueno, haremos la convocatoria correspondiente. y como pueden ver en la planificación, hay un kickoff que sucede ese mismo día en la mañana, 9 horas Washington DC probablemente, donde vamos a tener una apertura, unas palabras de apertura de las organizaciones que coordinan todo esto de la ruta, ¿cierto? El BIT y la Organización Panamericana de la Salud. Después de Raxel IH vamos a dar algunos lineamientos en relación a lo que ya mostró Sulimán, es cómo se van a llevar a cabo las pruebas. Eh, en términos generales, lo que sí puedo mencionar es que vamos a tener desde el 7 hasta el 17 la plataforma disponible para ejecutar pruebas y hemos agendado durante las 2 semanas para cada uno de los países instancias de soporte dedicado, de revisión dedicada, donde la idea es ejecutar los test cases que mostró Suleiman para cada uno de los tracks. Hay una agenda recomendada diaria, vamos a tratar de ajustarnos a ella, pero no está escrito en piedra, va a depender por supuesto del avance de cada país. Ahora, si hay países, como sabemos, que tienen un nivel de avance bastante importante, y se quieren atrever a ejecutar las pruebas antes de su sesión dedicada, lo pueden hacer perfectamente. Ya no hay ningún problema con eso. Insisto, Gacel va a estar abierto durante estas 2 semanas para ejecutar la prueba. Sencillamente contacten a su monitor e indíquenle que van a empezar a realizar algunos tests. Eh, Vamos a tener de todas maneras un check cada cierto tiempo. Vamos a estar mirando cómo van progresando los países. Y bueno, la idea es llegar hasta el test 5 en cada uno de los tracks. Van a tener asignados un monitor, por supuesto, que los ha estado acompañando durante toda la fase de pre-Conectaton y un monitor adicional que puede ser el que está mencionado acá o no. Podemos ahí también, va a depender de cómo van avanzando los países, si necesitamos algún soporte en particular en un área o en otra, vamos a ir moviendo también ese recurso. Eso es cuanto les puedo mencionar ahora. Esta información la vamos a dar en mucho más detalle en el kickoff del próximo martes 7, donde también vamos a explicar un poco en grandes términos, en términos generales, cómo se va a desempeñar también la prueba de la fase 2, un poco qué estamos pensando para distribuir los países de momento, y bueno, y todos los datos relacionados a los pacientes que tienen que crear, que finalmente es la parte fundamental de esta primera fase. Nuestra idea es llegar con todos los pacientes creados para cada uno de los países en esta primera fase y en la segunda fase dedicarnos a interactuar, a hacer que estos pacientes viajen e ir interoperando entre los grupos países que se definirán para la Conectaton. Eso es, entonces insisto, los esperamos en este kickoff del 7, donde vamos a explicar en mayor detalle sobre todo estos aspectos de cómo va a ser llevada la fase 1. Pero para adelantarles, nuevamente insisto, la plataforma está abierta, ustedes van a poder ejecutar estos tests, van a tener el apoyo de sus monitores, pero hemos agendado algunas instancias particulares donde la idea es que esté todo el equipo de soporte, monitores de Rexel, monitores de IHE y dedicarnos allí a dar alguna ayuda particular si es que así fuese necesario o simplemente hacer el check de las pruebas que ejecutaron. El orden un poco tiene relación con cuál es su estado de avance al día de hoy. Hemos tratado de aquellos países que aún están trabajando y les falta completar algo del nivel de avance, los tratamos de dejar para las finales de la segunda semana, cosa de poder darles tiempo de poder desarrollar aún más sobre lo que se va a probar en esta ocasión. Recordar no descuidar, en paralelo todavía tenemos todo el mes de octubre para seguir avanzando en los hitos. Sé que hay muchos que están trabajando aún con la app, hay que cerrar esa parte. Y quienes se atrevan, vamos a comenzar a distribuirlo de wallet este mes. Si recuerdan, por allá por abril mencionamos que era uno de los pilares también. Por ahí a mitad de camino mutó a app más wallet porque nos dimos cuenta que hay algunos aspectos que hoy la tecnología wallet no lo soporta, pero de todas maneras tenemos la opcionalidad de poder hacer ahí algunas pruebas con wallet y que probablemente vamos a recompensar también a aquellos países que lo hagan en sus reportes finales de alguna forma. Vamos a transparentar ese método probablemente de aquí a fines de octubre. Así que quienes se atrevan, yo ya he estado conversando con algunos países, me hablan por interno y les voy compartiendo esa información y bueno, los repositorios y el webinar, eso ya está todo público. Por ahora, concentrarse en esta primera fase, en la creación de pacientes. Y el martes 7 nos vemos para mayores detalles. Perdón, la convocatoria, me equivoqué, dije que comenzaba en la mañana, es al mediodía del martes 7. Creo que salieron las invitaciones. De no ser así, si alguien no tiene el correo, por favor indicarlo en Slack. Podemos ir viendo quién necesita estar en esa convocatoria y que por algún motivo no le haya llegado. Em, Eso es. No sé si hay preguntas. Ahí tengo, déjenme que perdí la visión acá. Voy a dejar de compartir esta pequeña planificación para poder verlo. Si veo a Adriana que levantó la mano, Adriana.
Gracias, buenas tardes a todos. Tengo una pregunta para Suleiman. Thank you, Suleiman, for the exposition. I am wondering where is located Gazelle's server? Is it still in France? Just for firewall access, please.
Okay, good. That's a good question. uh, okay, so we are in France. The Gazelle team, the development team is in France. But I have a talk between US and France for the server. So let me ask for this question and come back to you tomorrow if it's okay. But it's France or USA, but I need to confirm this.
Thank you very much.
Any other questions for Suleiman, for IHE, for Gazelle, or for the process? This recording will be available on the Raxel YouTube channel for sharing with the rest of your team if you need to revisit something. And I think that's all the information that I have from my side at this time. Bien, si no hay más preguntas, podemos dar la sesión por finalizada. Solo eh, tranquilidad para la primera fase. Solo indicarles que la hemos a propósito dejado muy acotada, como pudieron ver. Eh, la idea es que cubrir esa brecha que el año pasado un poco nos jugó en contra, que es de tener efectivamente a los pacientes creados. Así, todos los issues que sí o sí vamos a tener en la Conectaton, porque son cosas propias de este tipo de pruebas, sean alrededor del compartir esta información y de poder hacer interoperar los datos, que todo lo habilitante relacionado a tener los IPS ya esté resuelto. Para eso tenemos 2 semanas, así que vamos a poder generar, validar, y la idea es tener esos IPS y tanto para el track 1 como para el track 2 con la mayor completitud posible. Bueno, hemos llegado al final entonces de esta sesión. Thank you very much, Suleiman. Again, see you next Tuesday. Y los veo a todos también el próximo martes. Recordar si no han recibido la convocatoria, por favor nos indican, les haremos llegar. Y Bahamas, si hay algún representante de Bahamas, please remember to end your registration. You are the only country that we are missing on the Gazelle registration. We could help you with Juan Francisco on Slack, so please let's finish that. Nos vemos y mucho éxito. Aquí han trabajado todo un año y esto comienza ya la próxima semana. Comenzamos de a poco y no paramos en todo octubre. Así que mucho éxito y nos estamos viendo el próximo martes. Adiós a todos.